Hi everyone, I'm Michelle. Firstly, I'd like to thank Steve Hargan for the use of the room. Without him, we wouldn't be able to, use the room. So, thank you. Welcome everyone. Today's topic is the top 100 tools for learning in 2014. Presented by Vanessa Crouch. Vanessa is a primary school teacher on the north coast of New South Wales, and she's currently working as a leader of pedagogy and is a classroom teacher. Welcome, Vanessa.
Thanks, Michelle. And thank you to Michelle for helping to moderate tonight. It's her first time as a moderator, so it's very nerve-wracking, I'm sure. Yep, I'm Ness Crouch. Most people know me as Ness. I am a primary school teacher. I'm currently in my last 2 weeks of teaching my most beautiful class ever. I'm going to be sad to have to say goodbye to them. I'm also a lover of technology, and I think that sharing my knowledge is a really important thing. I too would like to say thanks to Steve for letting us use this Blackboard Collaborate room. It's a fantastic opportunity for educators in Australia to get together and to learn from each other. So thanks, Steve. Now I've got a little map here, and I'm guessing most of us are from Australia, but if you look on the left-hand side of the board, you'll see some little icons. If you are on a mobile device, you won't be able to see this or do this, but just tell us where you are in the chat. So if you're able to, grab an icon and just stick it where you are in Australia. So I'm just up here on the north coast, just south of the Queensland border. Currently hoping that it will actually storm because it's very, very humid here tonight. Okay, lovely. Lots of people from different places in Australia. Fantastic to see. Okay, let's move on. Hello, welcome from Port Macquarie, Emma, and Maya from Canberra, Fiona from Melbourne. Lots of people from all over the place tonight. Great to see. We certainly have the East Coast covered. It's a bit early for the West Coast people. Okay, so this list, the top 100 tools for learning, this list has been around for 8 years, and every year it's compiled by Jane Hart from the Centre for Learning and Performance Technologies, and she's based in the UK. This year she surveyed 1,038 professionals, and they were in 61 different countries, and basically she surveyed them to find out what tools it is that they use for learning. So you can see I've got a couple of links there. The one at the bottom that's in blue is actually a live link, and if you click on that you can access that list yourself and look in a little bit more detail. She also on the site publishes a digital book that you can purchase, I think, for about £10 or something, which will give you the tool, what it can be used for, whether there's a cost to use it, whether it can be used on networks, all of those sorts of things. So I've never actually purchased that, but I'm considering doing it this year just to see what it's like and to see how detailed it is, just for my own personal interest, really. But this list has been really instrumental for me in looking at new tools that are emerging, but also looking at tools that I may have forgotten about. Oh, thanks, Carol. So the ebook is fantastic. Okay, I might purchase it this year to have a look at it. The list is quite extensive. Obviously, it's hard to narrow down, but she does a lot of explanation on her website. So I'm just going to go to an app share. And share with you her website. So, well, it's not her website, it's the centre's website, but Jane drives it. So you can see that she has a list on the left-hand side there, and I'll just bring up the chat. Just bring up the chat so that I can see if there's any questions. If you happen to have a question, at the top you will see a little hand. Yeah, it will probably take a little while to refresh. My internet connection's a bit slow tonight because of the unsettled weather around. So if you have a look on your chat, in your pane there that has your name, your participants window and your name, there's one that's got a little hand. If you have a question, just click on the little raise hand button. So you can see here, and I'll try not to scroll too quickly, there's a little explanation, and there is also the list, as well as a slide share, which we are going to have a look at part of this tonight. And at the top, just going back up, at the top there's the history of the tools, an analysis, and the best of the breed, which is where she sort of looks at the best tools for certain applications. Really worth a deeper look. So even if you go to the link that's the top 100 tools, you can get to the rest of the website as well. Okay, so I'm just going to switch to the top 100 tools slide share that I've just enlarged a little bit. Now, there we go. Just going to put the chat pane the other way. Now, if Carol or Michelle could just let me know if I'm going too fast and it's taking a long time to load. So I'm just going to go briefly look at the top 20 and just explain how the list works basically, and then talk about some of the ones that I'm personally using and the ones that I'm looking at having a go at in the next year, just to I guess just to see where I'm at and decide whether or not these tools might be useful for me. So Twitter still remains, for the 6th year, the #1 tool for learning. And in this little presentation, she just explained a little bit about the tool. But if you go to the online version, the online version shows you more detail about the tool. Okay. Oh, went a bit fast. The second was Google Drive, and it stayed in #2. Now Google Docs, Google Drive, a lot of teachers use it, a lot of people use it. It's just a fantastic tool to collaborate and to share. I think it's a really important tool for anyone to know how to use, so I'm not going to say more than that about that one. #3, and still in the same position as last year again, is YouTube. Everyone loves YouTube. It's got so much great stuff on there, so much stuff that you can make for yourself. Thanks, Carol. It's probably a bit easier. Your school blocked YouTube, Shingo. How disappointing. I can't believe that. No, even for teachers, it's been blocked for teachers, Shingo. Is that correct? Oh, Google Drive. That's even worse. I can't believe it. Oh, I'm so glad that my system uses Google as its platform for email and collaboration. I'm just really pleased because it just makes life so much easier. Anyway, I'll get off my little bandwagon. PowerPoint, yes. Good old PowerPoint. It is at one place this year from 5 to number 4. Now, you might think that, well, PowerPoint's so old and it's so 20th century, I guess is the way of looking at it. But it is actually a really fantastic tool if you know how to use it really well. So I think that it's important that it does continue to climb. And even though Google Docs has its own version, Google has its own version, I really think that PowerPoint still is my go-to for presentations because I don't use or Apple stuff very often. Google Search is down one place this year as a learning tool. Everyone, I'm sure, Googles. It's become pretty much the go-to place, and it's I think it's now in the English language. Oh, I'll just Google that. Number 6, up 2 places, is WordPress. Now, WordPress is a great platform for hosting blogs or websites. Some people have been using this for many years. I think that the recent updates have actually made it a little bit more user-friendly, but I don't use it enough to be able to comment too much. Dropbox. Okay, Dropbox. I would not survive without Dropbox. I currently job share. Oh, we should have counted them down. Yeah, Shingo, but you know, it's okay. I'm only going to do the first 20 and then look at something in particular. I job share, so because I'm a leader of pedagogy 2 days a week and a classroom teacher 3 days a week, I job share with my my teaching partner, and without Dropbox, we would not be able to operate very well because recently we've just finished running our reports and handed them in and signed them off and all of those sorts of things. Without Dropbox, we would have had to email back and forth, sit there together and do them, but with Dropbox we were able to work on them in our own time when we were at home or whenever we had the chance. And I don't know what else to say about it. It's just a great way of collaborating and sharing and making sure you're all on the same page. Oh, missed one of my favourite ones. Come back. No. Oh, I'm clicking a bit too fast tonight. Evernote. I really love Evernote. Some people prefer other sources of gathering information and ideas and sharing and so on and so forth. But for me, Evernote's really handy. I keep everything from my shopping list to recently found resources to readings for my Masters of E-Learning that I edit and highlight and do things with. And the beauty of it is I have it on every device I own, and even my work computer, so that I can access everything that I have on there at any time, whatever I want. And for me, I think Evernote is really, really handy. It's certainly a tool that you have to sort of play with and find a use for. I think even in high schools it would certainly be fairly useful, but I know there are other options for that. Facebook retains its position as number 10 this year. Not really much more I can say about that. We all know what Facebook is. LinkedIn, definitely a newish or newer type of learning tool. I have never really taken much notice of LinkedIn until recently, until I started sort of looking at some of the posts that are appearing because of my my interests and all of those sorts of things. And I think that in the next year, I really am going to pay a little bit more attention to LinkedIn and seeing what's there, because now that you're able to share a lot more with your LinkedIn profile, there's a lot more opportunities starting to pop up. So it's up one place from last year. Google Communities and Google Hangouts is down one this year. Now, I guess this is because there are lots of options for video calling, video conferencing. Google Plus just seems to have not taken off as quickly, or not taken off as well as other social networking sites like Facebook. I guess with Google Plus as well, it's less pretty, in my opinion, in some ways. I don't know if that makes sense to people, but it's not quite as visually friendly as the as Facebook or something like that. But I quite like Google Plus. Yeah, I use it. I post to it. I share. I find information on there. I follow people. It's a good place to find learning information for education, in my opinion. Okay, number 12. Moodle. Down one place this year. Now, I have mixed opinions about Moodle. I think Moodle is an excellent learning management system for Sorry, Carol. I guess I have mixed opinions because as a primary school teacher, for high school and secondary and higher education and adult learning, I think Moodle is a fantastic tool because it provides you with a lot of opportunities to be able to create a learning environment for your learners. For primary school children, it's a little less suitable because it takes quite a lot of work and knowledge to be able to make Moodle very small child friendly, so kid friendly. It's just a lot more hard work than other tools out there. So I'm not saying I wouldn't use it at all, and I don't use it. I just choose not to use it because in my context, there are much easier tools to use. But it does certainly have its benefits for secondary onwards. Okay, Prezi. Back up 2 places this year, which is interesting. It went down a couple of places last year, so it's pretty much back to where it was a couple of years ago. Lots of unis use Moodle Shingo. I think it's just because it's an easy to use sort of thing. Prezi is really, really fun. I am a fan of Prezi, and though I don't use it, don't get my students to use it because it is a little bit harder to use, I really like using it for my presentations and to use sort of thing. Prezi is really, really fun. I am a fan of Prezi, and though I don't use it, don't get my students to use it because it is a little bit harder to use, I really like using it for my presentations and sharing with the staff. Really handy, really easy to link things, really easy to upload. The only difficulty is, but until you get to know how to use it, navigating through the paths can be a bit tricky, but it is a good tool once you know how to use it. Advertising for the guys. 14 Pinterest. Now, up 4 places this year. Pinterest, I think, is one of my favorite bookmarking tools, particularly because I can embed my Pinterest pages into my class website, and the kids can see the visual, oh, this looks interesting, I might click on this and see what it is, whereas if it was words, it'd be it's a little bit less interesting. Carol. Now Carol. I guess if you're a really visual learner, this is an amazing thing. I find it, like I said, very beneficial for my kids because I can find a tool and bookmark it, or a website and bookmark it and use a picture, and they can remember that they might not remember the words, particularly younger children. They might not remember the words they have to look for, but they will remember a picture and they can click on that and go to the website and find it. So in my context, it's definitely a lot of fun. Pinterest, I guess 12 months ago, decided to, well, it's mainly for business, but you can actually embed your boards into web pages now. So if you organize your particular pages for particular topics or content, you can embed those into a web page, which is fantastic. I think it's definitely, they're catching on to the fact that educators are using it a lot more, so it's really handy. SlideShare. It's up 1 place this year. SlideShare, for those who haven't used it, is well, obviously, you can see here you can upload your PowerPoints and share it with other people, and they can then embed them into websites, or they can share them with other people, all of those sorts of things. It's a really good place for sharing knowledge and hosting. It's a good place to host your gosh, I've had a brain freeze. To host your PowerPoint. Yeah, I find lots of teaching resources there too, Carol. Blogger, up 2 places. Now, Blogger is just a blogging service provided by Google. There are so many options these days. I actually I'm not a huge fan of Blogger, personally, because I found other blog options that are much easier, particularly if I want my students to be blogging as well, and also if I want to manage it freely. Word is in its standard position, still at 17. I don't think I can say much more than that. Obviously, it's a very integral part of learning Word. Wikipedia, down 4 places. Oh my goodness, the old knowledge base is slipping. I think Wikipedia is a great thing, especially when you want to teach children about reliability of resources, because I, on purpose, once upon a time, and I may have told this story before, I on purpose actually created a page and made up a bunch of stuff and took my kids to that, sent them directly to that page and got them to record information and said, how do you know that information is right? And they said, oh, it was on the internet. And then I went, oh, well, actually, and it was a really good learning experience for them. So they're much more careful now with that. Oh, I clicked too fast again. Feedly. Feedly is an RSS reader. So if you read a lot of blogs and news sites, you can actually create content, create links and lists where you can add those blog feeds and news feeds into one place, and you can see all of the articles that come up. I've been using Feedly for a couple of years now, and I really love it because I follow a lot of blogs, I follow a lot of news feeds, and having it all in the one place, I can quickly and easily go through and go, no, don't want that, delete, 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 and I can then click on the articles that I want to read, and if I want to, I can then share them with Twitter, Facebook, Google+, and if I want to click on the actual the link and then go out to the actual article itself online and share again there if I like to. Really handy just to keep yourself organized, looking in particular if you are a follower of many blogs. And number 20, DGO, which is a social bookmarking, research and knowledge sharing tool. It's really good because you can actually take your own notes, and it's basically good for bookmarking if you want to keep everything together. I don't use DGO very much, but it definitely has benefits. I tend to use Evernote as my bookmarking tool. Okay, so that's up to number 20. I'm just going to come back to the room now for a minute. And then what I'm going to do is just share a couple of the movers, the best of the breed and things like that this year. Now, if you've had a quick look at the list itself, you can see that there is a lot of content there. Take your time to go through it. We don't have enough time tonight to go through all of that, all of the whole list. But what I do think is important is showing you how they divide up the best of the breed, because it's a really great place to start looking for ways of integrating and using technology a little bit more with ourselves. So, okay, what time is it? All right, great. I will just check there are no questions. I'm hoping I didn't miss any questions along the way. Lots of discussion, which is great. No, it doesn't look like it. Okay, I might just close that window. And yeah, that one. Okay. Yeah, quite a few new tools in the list actually. I might just quickly talk about that before I show you the new breed. So if you go to the analysis on the page, you can see that she goes through and talks about each aspect and we'll break down some of the main things. So there are quite a lot of new tools this year. For example, and some of them I've never heard of and some of them I already use, so I was pretty glad to see that some of these new ones I use. So at number 46, the highest mover is PowerTune, which is a creation tool that you can create slides basically and add animations and sound and voice and all sorts of things. It's great. I used it as an assessment tool this year. So there are quite a lot of new tools this year. For example, and some of them I've never heard of and some of them I already use, so I was pretty glad to see that some of these new ones I use. So at number 46, the highest mover is PowerTune, which is a creation tool that you can create slides basically and add animations and sound and voice and all sorts of things. It's great. I used it as an assessment tool this year for one of my assessment tasks in science, actually. At number 53, new one is Explain Everything. Now that is a web-based but also app, iPad app that you can purchase and use. It's fantastic. I've used it for smaller children who can be explaining things and recording things and writing things at the same time. So we used it as a handwriting assessment for kindergarten students. We got them to write words and letters to see if they're forming their letters correctly. So it was really handy. Nearpod is at number 56, which is another new one. I don't really know much about that. That's one I've not really heard of. So that is one I'd like to investigate a little bit more. But according to the list, Nearpod is a tool which can be used to present quiz report synchronously with students. So, and if you click on each of them, it gives you some options there. So this one is a free and commercial versions, online and mobile apps available in Nearpod. Shingo, is that one that you've used before? Oh, right. Carol, you've used it before. Yep, Shingo, okay. Yeah. Right. Yeah, I don't know too much about it, but I might have a little look at it. In at number 66, new is Haiku Deck. I've used that before. It's basically you can create presentations with it. It's quite nice, and you can make some beautiful presentations. It's an iPad app, I think exclusively, but I could be wrong. I've only ever used it on iPad. The next one at number 67 is IFTTT. So this is a it's called If This Then That. So what it does is it makes connections between ideas, and I don't know a lot about it. It's another one that I want to investigate because I'm up for anything that helps make connections. And I've lost my link. There we go. I hate that when you do that. Click on the wrong button. Oh, okay, Air Sketch. Yes, I've heard of that one. Shingo, get it. All right. And so that was another IFTTT. If This Then That. I'll get it right one day. A couple of other new ones. I'll scoot through because I really do want to show the last section before we go on. Come on, don't go so slow, computer. Now, towards the end of the list, we start getting a lot more new additions. 74, you've got Notability. 78, Canvas. 81, Kahoot, which I presented about a month or so ago. At 85, you've got Instagram. 87, Easy Generator, which I know nothing about, and is another one I would like to have a look at. At number 89, you've got one that's back called Lectora. Not heard of that. A new one at 90 called Edpuzzle. And then from 95, you've got Line, another one I know little about. 97, you've got Movely. 98, Schoology. 99, Blendspace, and 100, SoftChalk. From memory, those last three, Schoology, Blendspace, and SoftChalk, are very similar types of tools, and they're learning spaces, like blended learning spaces. Alrighty. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Best of Breed and then I'm going to App Share so I can just show you. Yeah, it's good to see, isn't it? Yeah, it's. I wonder how she. I don't know if she just sends the survey to people or whether you can just do the survey yourself. So I'm going to investigate that because I'd like to be part of this. I'd like to be part of this research. That's just me being a bit nerdy, I guess, though. So I'm just going to go back to the App Share. And if you look in the Best of Breed tab, it divides all of the tools into 7 categories. So the first category is educational, the second is course development, third is presentation and content, fourth is communication and collaboration, 5 is social media, 6 is office, and 7 is personal. So you can see there it's a good way of finding tools for particular purposes. So if you're looking for a tool where you would like to quiz people, you've got the quiz poll survey options of Quizlet, SurveyMonkey, Poll Everywhere, Socrates, Kahoot, and ProProfs. However, on the flip side of that, if you're looking for something for note-taking, like over here at you've got Evernote, OneNote, and Notability. I just think it's a great way for particularly people new to technology or people looking for other options. It's a great way to easily find what you're looking for. There you go. Line is a communications tool. Interesting. The numbers next to the tools are the number that they came in the list. Okay, so I guess what I would love everybody in the room to do tonight, and anyone that's listening to the presentation, is to have a look at the list and choose at least one tool that you are going to try next year in either your personal learning journey or in your classroom learning journey with your students. Because if we don't try something new, we are no longer trying to learn ourselves. So I think it's really important that we give ourselves that challenge over the summer break while we've got a little bit of time on our hands to have a go at something new, play around, and see what you think you might like to introduce into your classroom. I personally have got a few I want to try out, but I'll just have to decide which ones. Yeah, it is so easy to stay in your comfort zone, Joe, but I think for anyone that is a learner, like anyone in this room, obviously you want to learn if you're here, it's worth taking that jump. So this presentation is a bit of a half and half presentation tonight, just looking quickly at the list and then just having a bit of a reflection on our year in Community Connect. We really, Shingo and I would really like some feedback and also just some ideas about what people would be interested in learning more about next year. Now, what I have created, come back is, and I'll just put the link in there. I've created a Google form. Now the top blue one is actually a live link, so you can click on that, or the one in the chat window, or you can type that in if you like. Is a little Google form with a few questions on it, just asking you to reflect on, if you've attended several sessions, some things that you've learned. So what you found the most useful about our sessions. If you have any memorable moments, meaning you found a tool that you've loved and you use regularly, or you found some useful tips. It's just a bit of feedback for Shingo and I. And then thinking on to 2015, what would you most like to know more about? And finally, if there's any suggestions about how we can improve our presentations. So what I'd like you to do now, if you're able to, is you can start typing some of this onto the whiteboard. So I'm just going to enable the whiteboard for you. So